Hi, I'm Colin Wells, and welcome to Studio M, your McKinney ISD talk show. I have to warn you, this episode contains a lot of high authority guests. We'll talk to the mayor of McKinney and the superintendent of McKinney ISD as they explain a new plan to inspire us to live healthier. We'll sit down with an officer from the United States Marine Corps who is bringing aviation instruction to our district, and we'll meet with the accountability officer for McKinney ISD who will shed some light on the differences we're about to see with student grading and report cards. We'll feature those fine guests plus McKinney ISD famous lookalike, all coming up next on Studio M. Now, this was a big week for me. I turned 35 on Monday. Yep, that's right. Called my mother. She was a little weepy, but she made it through. My dad sent me a message on Facebook about not believing that his son was 35 years old. Really kind of weird. But my daughters were wonderful. My wife and girls made me lemon pecan pancakes and lemon meringue pie. And I like lemon. We just had a really good time. They, of course, drew me a bunch of pictures, and it was very, very exciting day and relaxing and not stressful at all. So it was a nice way to celebrate my birthday this year. Well, something else fun and exciting is that the Career and Technical Education Department of McKinney ISD offers fun and exciting opportunities for high school students to explore, such as EMT classes, criminal justice classes, and the department features one class that rises above the rest, literally. It's the aviation classes, and they are not only educating young minds on the design and operation of aircraft, the course may be persuading some students to consider the career and life opportunities of being a pilot. Here on the show to tell us more are Alejandro House, one of the aviation instructors, and two students, Wyatt Ogden from McKinney High and Garrett Kelley from McKinney Boyd. Welcome on the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here. Well, let's start down here with Garrett and tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a student here at Boyd, right?
Yes, sir.
What year are you?
I'm a freshman right now.
Awesome. Okay, and so this is your first year at Boyd, first year with the aviation program. What made you take this class?
Well, I kind of always have loved planes, so I just kind of want to learn about more of the history and the inner makings that make everything run.
That's awesome. What other classes are you interested in? What else are you taking?
Well, I'm in Spanish, because that's generally what we need to do, but
yeah.
Then I'm in most advanced classes,
awesome.
And that definitely helps with the aviation as far as the math is concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good to get yourself prepared. And tell us a little bit about yourself. What else do you like to do outside of school?
Well, I play golf. I'm a part of the golf program here at Boyd, and I also play guitar.
No kidding. Do you sing?
No, I can. It doesn't mean I'm good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, and tell us a little bit about yourself, Wyatt. What do you like to do outside of class time?
I like to do MMA classes. I just got getting a job starting Thursday to teach MMA at the school I go to.
Mixed martial arts classes?
Yes.
For real? Hmm. And you're teaching them too? I mean, you're not just like sparring and beating up people, but you're teaching people to spar.
Going to be teaching little kids, yeah.
That's cool, dude. How long have you done that?
Like 3 years, I think, 3 or 4.
Yeah. And what made you take the aviation class this year?
My dad was in the Air Force. I just like the Air Force. I want to fly helicopters and sound like a good idea.
Yeah, excellent. Well, this is a great opportunity. Well, Mr. House, you are, how do you say it? Former Marine Corps?
Retired.
Retired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Retired Marine.
You don't say ex. You don't
There's never a former Marine. There's never an ex-Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about your background then, if you don't mind starting with that.
Well, I retired from the Marine Corps November 19, 2010, with 21 years of service. 8 years.
Thank you, by the way.
Thank you. 8 years in the enlisted ranks. I started flying actually at the age of 18 while I was enlisted in the Marine Corps stationed in Japan.
Wow.
Over the next 8 years, I had a few spurts of flying, learning how to fly due to deployments, things of that nature between 89 and 94. Decided to go Gulf War, Somalia. I tell individuals I've been a part of every single conflict except for Bosnia since 89 to present day.
Wow.
Decided to exit active duty after 5 years in the Marines to go to college. I went to USC, graduated from USC, the real one in California, not South Carolina.
I gotcha.
In aerospace engineering background, went back into the Marine Corps as an officer and then started flying. While I was in college, though, I completed my private pilot, my instrument, and my commercial rating with my multi-engine certificate. So the first phase of flying in the Marine Corps was a little bit easier for me until we were able to go into our jet program. From there, I flew F-18s, carrier-based as well as land-based.
Wow.
Have 78 combat missions over Iraq and Afghanistan. So at that point, like one of my mentors says, I really had the bug of aviation instilled in me. When I released from active duty as a retiree, I realized that there was a void between young men and women trying to find their way in aviation and getting to those career paths. When I grew up, I could walk into an international airport, go straight to the gate, sit there and look at airplanes back away from the gate all day.
Yeah.
They actually had observation decks there in the airport. Now you can't even stand outside of a fence line without TSA or a local police department asking, why are you there?
Right.
So the best way to do that is to bring it into the academic world and start in the high school realm. If we can get young men and women educated in aviation within the first 4 years of their high school, we really grasp their interest. And then we can funnel them into one of the many colleges that offer aviation degree programs outside of just the aerospace industry.
That's excellent. And you've been decorated some. Congratulations, by the way. The NAACP Roy Wilkins Award.
Yes.
That was extraordinary to me. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you've been an instructor in the military as well, not just going into this program now teaching for the school district.
And that actually helped me out a great deal, getting my instructor ratings in the military, because it provided me with a different aspect of training. You can train an adult, you can train also a young child. It's a little bit easier because you don't have to break through the adult ways of thinking.
Sure.
Yeah, they're fresh, they're eager to learn.
So how did McKinney ISD get locked into doing these classes?
Well, a fellow counterpart, he's also a Marine. He's not a retired Marine, but he's Vietnam-era Force Reconnaissance Marine. He's a local businessman here. His name is Fritz Mowry. He has the relationship with the school district and Dr. Kennedy. And he came to me, saw that I had started up other programs around North and South Texas, and decided, well, how can we implement the program here in McKinney? So we worked together all of 2010, 2011 to get the program started in the fall of 2011.
And then there's another instructor besides yourself.
There's another instructor, Mr. Dunn. He teaches with me. He's a brand new graduate of UT Arlington Aerospace Engineering, so he brings an engineering background.
Right.
While myself and another gentleman who just joined us, his name is Patrick, who's bringing the piloting aspects of this. So next year our goal is to actually have the young men and women get in an aircraft and fly. If we can get them to their solo by the time they're a sophomore or junior, then we can hopefully get them their license, their first license by the time they graduate, or funnel them into a program like UNT Denton has for their aviation logistics program.
That's great. Well, let's look at some photographs of what goes on in the classroom. I'd love it if you guys want to speak to some of the things that we see here. What's happening in this shot here? Looks like a big cannon there.
We were like shooting potatoes out of this makeshift rocket rocket launcher, I guess, that we had made.
That's awesome.
Crazy distances.
Okay. And the project with the trash bag.
We made a hot air balloon with a candle and straws and a trash bag.
No kidding. And these flew, huh?
Yeah, they caught all that hot air and just kept rising.
So there's a lot of physics discussions in class as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Science and mathematics that build on the concepts associated with flight. Okay, now where's this?
This was at the instructional facility at the DFW airport. And that was, we got in their simulators, and we were just able to, they let us go with it, and we could just fly around.
No
It
kidding.
was amazing.
Yeah. I had no idea that they had an opportunity like that.
They're taking a corporate jet and pretending that they're a dive bomber in New York City, and they're actually trying to bomb the Statue of Liberty.
Oh no! Wait a minute now.
I won't say we all did that.
Who comes up with these plans? All right, and these are other students that are in the class as well?
Yep.
Okay, so tell me about the potato cannon. I'm not sure I follow the potato cannon.
Well, that is teaching them trajectory.
Okay.
So depending on the angle of the launcher and the actual launching of the potato, we have a timer.
This is great.
And this is teaching them how to use time
it's
and
up,
distance
coming down, coming
to calculate
Right there.
trajectory and the length of the potato that actually flew.
That's awesome.
There is some math involved. We don't try to do the rocket science quite yet, even though we tried, but we've learned from
Oh,
that.
there it goes.
But as you can see, just basic tools, we can provide them with the art of hot air balloons or trajectories. We also build rockets. So at the end of the course, they have a chance to launch their own rocket that they can take home with them to say that I was able to build something that's somewhat simple, and it flew successfully.
Yeah. Well, how much of the airplane maintenance and what goes into the operation of that kind of craft is part of the class? Is that a big part of it as well?
It will be the year two.
Okay.
Year one is a semester course, so we have to cram a lot into the first semester, and we have a brand new set of students for the second semester.
Oh, really?
Second year is a full year. We take them through the more in-depth aerodynamic principles, wing structures, how they're built, fuselage structures, how they're built, the engines theory, as well as the principles of flight. We will also have a number of Saturday programs where we will take the students out to McKinney Airport or the air park, where we have a number of airplanes that are disassembled, so they can see the practical side of what we've been teaching them in the classroom, as well as the flight portion of it. So we'll definitely give them a well-rounded educational experience.
Yeah, absolutely. What else can you guys speak to? I mean, we saw several different projects, and maybe you want to elaborate on what we saw, but what else goes on in the classroom? You guys took this class last semester?
Yes.
Is that right? What else goes on in the classroom that maybe not necessarily hands-on, but what other information are you gathering? Can you guys speak to anything else that goes on in the room?
We learned a lot of aviation history, like the Wright brothers and all that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
No kidding. That's great.
Then we learned a lot.
Certainly it builds a value where you take value in what you're doing. If you're sitting in the cockpit, you're really thinking about, did they know what they were doing 100 years ago, trying to come up with this.
Yeah, we learned a whole lot about all the little tools that they use inside the cockpit, as far as their altimeters and speed indicators, and how all that information is actually gathered.
Oh, no kidding. That's terrific. What do you guys plan to do after this semester? Are you going to continue to take these aviation courses?
I'll take it next year, and I want to kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
I want to take the class to make sure I'm really hooked on the whole aviation business.
Sure. Wyatt, what about you? Are you?
I'm a senior, so
Oh, you're graduating. Man.
yeah, I'm disappointed. I wish I was younger to keep taking it.
Yeah, that's great. What are you going to do next year?
Next year I'm going to go to college all I can.
And are you planning on joining the military?
Yes, I am.
That's great. Well, best of luck to you. And I understand, Mr. House, that you have several children.
I
back
do.
at home. You don't live in McKinney, though. You live
I live in Keller.
in Keller. So you have to travel over for is it 2 or 3 days a week that you're here? When you
I come
teach?
over, I try to come at least two days a week. I'm also a corporate pilot for Bell Helicopter.
I was going to ask you if you still get to fly a
So
little
I
bit.
still get a chance to keep that aviation alive. So when Bell doesn't have me flying for them and one of our multiple businesses, whether it be the military or the civilian aspects of it, I try to get out here and see the kids so I can give them a different perspective.
Well, this is a great time of year for us to be talking about this class because it's going to be offered next year
Yes.
for students that haven't had an opportunity to take the semester course, and they could be signing up right now for that class. And it's just called aviation?
It's the aviation department, and we have multiple classes. We have the intro to aviation class, and then we have the intermediate aviation course. I'm not quite sure exactly how it's listed on the course curriculum. What we're doing for next year is because we know we have a number of maybe juniors or seniors that might not want to strictly take the intro course and not get a chance to get the benefits of the second year course.
Mm-hmm.
So next year we'll allow students to take both the intro course as well as the second year course concurrently, because the first year is obviously it's one semester.
Yeah.
So to take the intro course in the fall semester as well as the intermediate aviation course, they can continue on the intermediate for the spring semester as well.
That's
So
great.
it gives us a lot of opportunity to grab more of the students. We really would like to have a robust aviation program. It's 4 years. If you start in the 9th grade, imagine having 4 years of aviation underneath your belt, internship programs, potentially with Raytheon, with some of the airline industries,
Yeah.
and you're going into a college environment where you have 4 years of academic knowledge of aviation underneath your belt.
That's a great idea. Well, I'm so glad that you joined the school district with this.
Happy to be here.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. We are glad you're here on the show today. So best of luck to you. We need to take a short break, and when we return, we'll learn more about how to get healthy in Texas. Stay tuned.